So what makes a great life? Well, it's to be fit and healthy all the time. And how I keep fit is by playing tennis. I have my ball machine in the back, so I'll go play and practice. It's called the pre-game in the afternoon, and then I have the match in the evening. That's how I coordinate.
Okay.
Okay, so here I am trying out my tennis shots, and I'm going to be volleying a bit. So here goes.
Okay.
Stop. Yes, not too close, but
Okay.
ready?
Ready.
Whoa. Well,
So how does one get a life staying at home? Well, it's working from home and it's using 3 computers every day for work. So on the left, I have my engineering computer, then I have my one for medicine, and then I have the one for entertainment, or I have the one for checking the news. And in the background, I have my TV for entertainment, so I never have to feel bored. Some people think it's just academics that's required and work that's required, but we need an overall perspective of life. We need to enjoy life in as many different ways as possible to be totally satisfied. Um, Movie stars live their great life, interact with people, sports stars also interact with people. So we need to interact people, and we could have a mix of those lives as well. And presto, they're all up and running. 3 different computers at the same time running 3 different programs. And let me go to first to the work. So this is my work where I work on databases. I work on Oracle, SQL Server, and currently these 2, but I'm lead for SQL Server. And I work on a lot of requests that come in throughout the day, and I also design stuff. So that's the first aspect, and I will go into it later. And here on this second computer, I work on bioinformatics and DNA, and I have great interest in medicine and diseases and how they use how pharmaceuticals are used to cure them. But it's a lot of information, and it's something I'm passionate about. Of course, I don't get any I'm not paid for this, but still it's a great passion of mine. And secondly, I do create music, I do write music, but I also use this computer to watch the news and keep up to date, with lots of stuff. So I'm always working on 3, and this helps me to be I kind of enjoy having 3 going on at the same time, and I enjoy multitasking. And let's go to my work. I'm not going to show you anything more, but what I want to say is that I work on databases, and I work like 17 and a half hours a day. So with such a stressed out schedule, I really need to relax, and I need to kind of work on several things. So I need to find rest in between, and my mind needs to find rest. So I do take breaks, so like every 45 minutes. I just take some time off and just rest. Otherwise, it's impossible to be working from 5 in the morning till like 9 at night, and you can't stop because you're a lead. You have to be there. We're going to talk a lot about databases because that's my field, but the one thing that's being talked about is a field called DevOps automation. And that field a few years back was just starting out, and they were getting familiar with tools like Docker and Kubernetes, but now it's a full-fledged field, and we get paid for it, and the pay is equal to any other IT job like a DBA or a system admin. And especially in the cloud, everything works on Docker pods now. And multi-terabyte databases run on Docker, and I was very scared. App-wise, I don't mind apps run like Apache running on a Docker container, But when you're talking about a database, can it really scale and can it really be robust and reliable? And the answer is yes. I think it was 13 terabyte database over 8 nations, run over globally over 8 countries, and it worked fine using Docker, you know. So that's the new field that's come up, and one of the terms you may probably hear later is called a DevOps DBA. That's what's the next field. With a click of a button, the entire database gets created. For QA, one line, you have a CI/CD pipeline, and for non-production, for test, there's one more, and for prod, you have a production pipeline. And with a click of a button, all this is going to be built. But how accurate is it, and will there be errors? There will be so many errors, you know, and we have to go troubleshoot. So now the DBA not only has to learn databases, he has to also learn the automation on top. There's going to require a special skill sets, you know, so we have to look out for that and be very good at programming ourselves, you know. So that's the new target for the future. Also, DBA wise, I want to say that the databases are growing extremely large in the universe. For example, a few years back, like 5 to 10 years back, the databases were 200 to 500 GB or 600 GB at the most, you know. Now there are 2 terabytes. There's 2 terabyte databases. So who's going to handle the data, and how big are the indexes going to grow? Astronomically large, and the troubleshooting is very, very difficult. So that's going to be a huge task to handle, and DBAs are so busy. We need someone else to do the regular tasks, you know, maintenance, even formatting reports to be submitted. We need like an assistant, so even that's going to be automated, you know. So that's what I do. I automate things that the DBAs find too difficult, and that requires a lot of bash programming. But now coupled with Ansible and DevOps tools, that's going to be the future, you know. So we need someone to even look out for alerts, you know, alerting system. We need the email to figure out the alerts for us, because there are like hundreds and thousands of alerts. We only want to work on the real problems, on the most difficult problems. Can someone automate a solution? Are there self-healing scripts? Is there a good monitoring solution that can provide us with the feedback we need and tell us only when there's a genuine error or when there's real trouble with the system? That's a very big deal, because now we have to filter through all the hundreds of alerts, you know. And when you get home, play the guitar. So finally, friends, what I want to say is that in this tough world, spiritually tough world, we may face a lot of trouble and be very stressed out, you know, mentally stressed out if you're working like in a Google startup, and spiritually stressed out if you're working in operations like I am doing now. So we need to enjoy every bit. So we need to have a little bit of music, a little bit of sports, you know, and that's the way we can conquer this realm, because we're living in a very unusual time. We're living in a time with multiple responsibilities, you know, and which I don't think our previous generations did. And now we have the whole planet kind of working together as one. So the problems are difficult, you know. So we need someone to drive our car now, because we're working on many things, you know, medicine, engineering at the same time. So we need cars to be automated. We need assistants like robotic assistants or data assistants to help us in our work. Otherwise it would be simply too cumbersome for us, you know. So with this, I want to let you go, and I encourage you all to get a life, to be very good at multiple things and to excel at everything. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye.